feels like the hardest share ever, but I do so in the name of our oneness. I know we're all resonating together here. And I know it's helpful to all of us. And I didn't want to share yet, but when the inner self says it's time, it's time. It'll be 27 years in a couple of weeks that I will have been married. And even though shortly after we married, I realized I had been lying to myself about the resonance we shared. Something, that inner something, still led me to stay. And it became apparent really quick that far from what we call divine relationship, it became, in the pure sense, it became a relationship where, and I shared this with him almost from the get-go, that it was a relationship where he taught me how to go within and let go of my own inner struggle like nothing else had ever taught me. And I would tell him, our relationship is about, for me, is about strengthening my inner peace muscle. He never liked that, He wanted, the 3D false matrix relationship, and I didn't blame him. And I tried. I tried really hard, and I thought, part of me wanted that too, but, you can only lie to yourself for so long. And, but I was never led to actually leave. I thought about it seriously a couple of years ago, but it never manifested, and I'm so glad it didn't, because for the last year and a half, he's had really bad spells of almost dying, and he's been in chronic all over his body. It's not exactly pain, but it's a form of pain, and sometimes it does develop into really bad pain. It's a whole body nervous system thing. There's a lot of weakness and numbness and immobility and pain as well. It's been gradually getting worse over the decades. And I'd say last night was probably his 6th spell he's had in the last, year and a half. Because it was a year ago March, so a little over a year. Yes, of course. We've gotten a lot closer. A lot closer. Most people have only listened to me at all when they're on their deathbed. And they have to, they really need to, they want to at that point. And which has been such a comfort to me when I've been at deathbeds. Because, I'm older. My parents, I was at both of their deathbeds and my grandparents' deathbeds. Even a great-grandparent once, a long time ago. But and somehow he's still able to crack jokes through all this. I told him last night, this is real love. I said, because when he told me how high his blood pressure was and how bad he felt, it was way higher than ever. And a little backstory, why doesn't he just go to the emergency room? Why doesn't he just go to the hospital? Well, we did a year ago March, and it made, if you ever saw that movie, Jacob's Ladder, it made that look like a walk in the park. It was a real life horror story, what we both went through. I'm not going to go into all that detail, but suffice it to say, he is done with hospitals. He'd have to be passed out on the floor, barely conscious, to go to a hospital. Anyway, and that's just him. I mean, gratefully he took me to a hospital when I was, this is going to sound gross, but I was back in late 2020. Long story I'm not going to go into, but I was throwing up black blood. I was within I still don't know how I'm here. Anyway, so yes, that was a need to go to the hospital, and I wasn't conscious at all. Well, sort of, but not in. I don't remember a thing about it. He knew I was way out of it. Anyway, so there are times for the hospital, for sure, and for medical treatment, for sure. I mean, he's on lots of medications, and that's a big part of what's going on, too, with him being between a rock and a hard place. Anyway, I've never had a more challenging, deep workout on that peace muscle as I did last night. And I told him, I said, this is real love. Someone to teach me how to move through has every emotional abyss to it. The guilt mostly, not the not good enough. And I may do a separate video on that at some point. He's better. He's up right now. And so I'm going to close this now. But the main point I want to make is when I was able to relax and into my body and just focus on my breathing from time to time in between the gazillion emotionally pain-filled thoughts, it came, the peace, the feeling of, how else can I describe it, of just feeling good inside. And it always hits me hardest in my sacral area. It came. Not much, not often, but enough. To where I know that if it can come on a night like that, at all, even for a second, it can always come. So I just say thank you, Mark. For this most sacred role you're playing, for the clearest mirror you hold up to me. My biggest, what do people think about me, that always goes through my head when I make these videos is, people are just going to think you're in victimhood and want somebody to feel sorry for you, and that's just so not it. I do it because I know we're all the same, and we're all in this hell that we are walking through together. And just like everybody else helps me learn how to walk through it, I try to demonstrate that walking through it to help all of us, me and everybody. So, I'm going to close on so grateful for everybody in the whole world, all of us doing this together. The harder it gets, the more grateful I feel. But again, we're doing it. If even a little glimpse can happen within that particular brand of hell that I walked through last night, I feel even more certain of the reality of ascension. I mean, yes, of course I feel certain, but I mean, it always goes deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, it feels more real as we go, and it feels so much more real than it did before. 12 short hours.